Hello and welcome to Woodshed Reviews, where we look at films old and new, good and bad. And on today's show, we're looking at the psychological thriller Red Rooms from 2023.
Ce qu'on va tenter d'établir ici, c'est que Ludovic Chevalier est l'auteur de ces meurtres, qu'il a filmés pour un auditoire privé, prêt à payer pour voir ça en direct, dans ce qu'on appelle des Red Rooms.
Okay, so we are in Montreal. We are following a murder trial to begin with, very brutal, and we're that's spelled out to us in a sort of courtroom scene, a quite long courtroom scene.
Yeah, quite amazing scene, I thought. I mean, I went into this film blind and I thought, is this whole film going to be set in a courtroom?
Yeah, I thought that, yeah.
If it had been, I would have been all right, because it was so well done.
Yeah.
I love the floating camera and the long takes.
Yeah.
But we get these opening statements from the prosecution and the defence, which give a lot of detail about this absolutely horrible murder.
I was prepared for. I was like, what have you got in store for me? But I mean, in terms of that sort of stuff, that's as horrific as it gets.
Yeah, but it puts it in your mind.
Yeah, it's even worse.
C'est rien, comparé à ce que ces jeunes filles ont subi.
It reverberates throughout the entire film. It's always there.
It's kidnap, torture, filming, killing these girls, 3 teenage girls, young, 13 one of them is. But that's the kind of backdrop to the film. It's not really about this trial. The trial is it's happening in the background, but we're not following the killers on trial. The families are there in the court, but we're not really following them. We're following
Kellyanne, primarily. And then another girl called Clementine.
Yeah.
So they're there at the trial, and we get the impression that they're both groupies.
Clementine, definitely. I think Kellyanne keeps her, throughout the whole film, keeps her emotions very close to her chest.
Absolutely. We're not sure what she's about.
Qu'est-ce qui vous a motivé à assister au procès du démon de Rosemont?
J'étais curieuse.
Vous étiez curieuse.
Je voulais voir André.
Yeah, we don't know why she's there, whereas we know Clementine is like one of these, what is it with women and true crime sort of thing. She is like, she's just like obsessed with this case and the innocence of him to the point of just insane kind of theories about why he might be innocent.
Yeah, I think she's maybe taken one too many red pills.
Et les preuves contre lui, vous en faites quoi?
Quelle preuve?
Les corps retrouvés près de son ancienne demeure?
Ben, c'est soit un hasard ou bien le vrai coupable a tout fait pour framer Ludovic. Tu sais, dépensez donc votre énergie à trouver le vrai coupable au lieu de vous acharner contre Ludovic. C'est lui la vraie victime dans tout ça.
La victime?
She's quite adamant that this guy's innocent.
Yeah.
And we don't get much from Kellyanne.
She's there as well, but I kind of got I kind of thought, is she connected to this case in some way that's going to be revealed, and that's why she's there?
Yeah, because the first time you watch it, that's what I thought. Yeah. It's going to be something really dark about her.
Yeah. Well, there is, but yeah, it's not what what I was expecting, I suppose. They're not polar opposites, but I suppose they are very different. I suppose we should say Kellyanne, who's our main girl. Is she a model who moonlights as an online poker player, or is she an online poker player who does a bit of modelling on the side?
Either or, I guess. But she seems to lead a very solitary online life.
Yeah.
Guenièvre, create new event on calendar called Shoot pour Medal on Saturday, September 17 at 9 a.m. Also, set up an alarm for 7 a.m. on Saturday, September 17.
Despite her being quite successful in her fields, she's obviously very attractive and all that stuff. And then Clementine doesn't really seem to have much going for her positively. She's kind of she's travelled to the city, she's homeless. Obviously, probably home life or whatever is not great. So you can kind of understand almost a little more why she's clinging on to this a little bit and why this is an obsession for her.
Écris-moi en privé, s'il te plaît. J'ai l'impression que tu as besoin de parler. Je ne sais pas ce que tu traverses.
J'ai pas besoin de ta pitié, là. Vous êtes toutes là à faire votre messe entre vous autres, là, mais vous dites juste de la bullshit. Vous faites juste raconter n'importe quoi pour attirer vos codes d'écoute, là, mais tout ça, c'est n'importe quoi.
Clementine latches on to Kellyanne.
Yeah.
Kellyanne seems a bit, can't be bothered with her initially.
Yeah.
But she must have a good heart. She offers her a place to sleep. They're quite different, but they seem to get on.
Yeah.
She teaches her how to play squash.
Yeah.
Mets ta main droite. Ça, c'est solide, là. OK. Regarde la balle. Et vas-y. Presque.
probably the key line in the film about how she plays poker and what it means to her, why she does it.
Yeah.
It's not even so much the winning or the money, it's about
taking everything
from someone, taking their hope away from them, that sort of thing. And so that kind of plays out later on with this court case.
Moi, c'est ça mon trip, là, les voir toutes perdre. Shit. T'es evil. Ah, c'est ça le jeu.
I was a couple of times when my jaw nearly hit the floor, I think.
If you like psychological thrillers,
Yeah.
you have to go and see this, and go and see it
Yeah.
blind if you can.
Yeah, definitely. There's 3 victims, but there's only 2 videos so far have been found where basically it's like half-hour videos of the whole shebang, if you like, you know.
Yeah. And thankfully we don't see anything, but we hear screams and loud sounds.
Bits, yeah.
And we don't need to. It's all in our mind now.
It's worse in your mind because I think it's that sort of thing where if you were seeing it, it would be pretty disturbing. But also I'd be kind of watching it in a sort of like, how are they doing it sort of thing, you know, in a sort of filmmaking kind of way. But whereas when they just describe it to you and put it in your mind, you've not got any of that. You're seeing it for real, if you like, you know. So that makes it more effective, I think.
Viens, on y va dessus?
Attends, je vais entendre de voir si on entend ça.
Non, on l'entend pas, on l'entend jamais. Viens, Clem.
Comment tu sais ça? Kellyanne. Comment tu sais ça?
So Clem's wanting to see the videos, and then Kellyanne lets it slip that she's seen them. Mm-hmm. You think one would have been enough, and Clem doesn't want to watch the second one, but Kellyanne pushes the button. But Kellyanne's able to watch these videos. She's watching them analytically, like there's no real emotional response.
Yeah.
But it's at that point where Clementine wakes up and realises, this guy is guilty.
She was completely at one end of the spectrum, and then when she sees this, is she comes to her senses and redeems herself at the end a bit when I have a little kind of interview with her months down the line. An interesting line that she asks Kellyanne, why are you here? Because it doesn't make any sense to us or to her what it is that Kellyanne is doing and why she is, because she's obsessing about it as much as Clementine, really.
Hey, ton ami est où? On aimerait ça lui parler pour notre bulletin. Peut-être que toi, tu veux nous dire quelques mots?
We learn that the third video's out there, and she takes upon herself to enter this private auction for it.
She's already lost her modelling contract and career. That's kind of down the Swanee, effectively.
Là, c'est avec privé, OK? Mais là, ça s'en vient vraiment weird. Des compagnies comme ça, ils prennent pas de chance. Dans le doute, ils remplacent.
We don't really meet the other parents. There's 2 sets of parents for the other 2 girls who the video evidence at that point it's in the court. She's the only one that we really kind of see. And Kellyanne starts to kind of cyber stalk and then actually sort of stalk her. You know, she's kind of got her Wi-Fi code to get her door lock and all this sort of stuff that's going on. So she's crossing lines. She puts on her new costume, which is of the schoolgirl attire and hair and contact lenses and braces and everything to look like one of the victims. And this is in front of the parents of these children.
And in front of the killer.
In front of the killer. She's doing it for the killer, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought anyway.
I think it was to get his attention.
Yeah.
But I think at that point you realise this guy's obviously 100% guilty.
Yeah, it's the only time he reacts, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's sort of sat motionless, he's not looking at anyone. This is the only time he sees her trying to get his attention, and he just gives her a little wave.
And it's totally kind of out of character for her to do something like that.
I just didn't see it coming, you know.
Yeah.
And it was just it was very effective. She's ruined her career, her reputation and stuff, but she's still going down this pathway. She's into the dark web. She knows all that kind of stuff. She wins the bid for this final video, this missing video.
Yeah, all that winnings from her poker matches. Was this her plan all along?
I mean, again, there's no sort of like easy answers with this film.
Yeah.
It's definitely lets you think, was this what she was planning to do?
I think the idea is that this final video is 100% proof that this guy is guilty.
Yeah.
And that's what put him away. But she breaks into the mother's
house, yeah. Goes into the young girl's bedroom, which has obviously probably been kept as a sort of shrine at this point. Takes photos of herself looking like the young girl, and then leaves a sort of USB by the mother's bedside. Yeah. My feeling was that the fact that this kind of implicated him completely was almost like an afterthought for her. I didn't really feel like she was doing it out of the goodness of her heart to kind of, because she would have had no idea when she bought the video that that was going to be the case, would she?
I do wonder what you said as well. I think maybe her experience with Clementine maybe awoke something in her.
Right.
Her empathy maybe. Or that was her plan all along, was to try and be some sort of avenging angel. I don't know.
Go into this dark and seedy world, but with good purpose. You could read it that way. I'm not so sure that I do kind of, that I buy that overall. I just kind of think that it was maybe just a coincidence that this happened to be, because obviously if she'd got that video and that was her plan, then there's ways to kind of get the video out there, give it to the police anonymously. To do it the way that she did it, and you know, you've got to think about the mother waking up, finding out that this has happened, someone's been in her house, and then what is this USB drive? Puts it into her computer, and then she's presented with I'm assuming a half-hour video of her daughter being tortured and killed.
Don't think she would have watched it, because I think on the USB was all the information about the Bitcoin transaction stuff.
As well, yeah.
So maybe that will lead to the person that sold it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So she's obviously left the trail and all the info.
I've got to assume the video was on that stick, though, because it doesn't say anything else. So I mean, it's pretty grim that, and she's crossed many lines before that. So, but I think you could definitely read it. Was that her plan all along?
But then again, if she didn't do that, who else would have? And then that trial would have went on and on. And
je demande à toute personne qui a des informations de contacter les autorités. Ça fait maintenant plus de 6 mois que j'ai pas dormi sur mes 2 oreilles. Je dormirai pas tant que je saurai pas ce qui est arrivé à ma fille.
I think the film definitely wants you to kind of come to your own thinking about it and come to your own conclusions. And I think you could kind of veer a little bit in different pathways.
I think my favourite kind of film is one you can read in different ways.
Yeah.
You might watch it again one day and you'll see it differently.
It's a fascinating character study, I think, without giving too much character.
Camera's always quite intimate with her, a lot of close-ups and
yeah, weird aspect ratio as well. I don't know what is that? Is that like the?
It's almost 4:3. I think it was 3:2.
Right. I don't think I've seen that before, but
no, I can't remember seeing that one. Certainly not common.
It doesn't look like the old TV aspect that you sometimes get with some things, but it was just a little bigger, but a little not quite.
Yeah, it worked really well. I mean, the shots were so beautifully framed.
Je tiens donc à m'excuser pour ce que je vais vous infliger.
Je demande à tous ceux et celles qui ne sont pas concernés de bien vouloir quitter la salle d'audience sur le champ.
I've got a feeling I know what you're going to give it.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 5 logs.
Fair enough. I'm not far off you. I'm thinking 4 or 4.5. I don't know. I think I'm going to go 4.5 because it's not often that a film will kind of a couple of moments where I just kind of went, oh my God.
Yeah.
I cannot believe this is happening. So that in itself. And yeah, it's got a really satisfying ending, I guess, as well. Keeps you guessing, talking, thinking about it and all that, and we could probably go on for another 20 minutes. Did I thoroughly enjoy it? I don't know if I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know if that's right. I was going to say thoroughly enjoyed it, no. But certainly worth checking out.
Yeah, the first time you watch it, it just freaks you out. But once you know what's what, it's quite enjoyable after that.
Yeah, sure. I'll go with that.
Cool.
Okay. That's all we've got for you today. Let us know if you liked Red Rooms as much as us, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.